Hey, well, welcome to Stroke of Genius Podcast Survivor Series or Survivor Experience. This is the world's first Dysarthria Awareness special that we have done. And I've got a really special guest. These guys are my brothers, Stroke Survivor brothers with Dysarthria. We're all different levels of rebuilding a life after a stroke and rebuilding our speech after a stroke. So um, you will hear Dysarthria in different levels from all three of us. But let's get started. Got right into the show.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Well, good morning, Abraham. Good morning, Louis.
Good
How
morning.
you doing?
I'm really glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you for the opportunity, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem, bro. It's a witch. I'm in a witch shop. It's just how I roll.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. But I really wanted. Let's see, we have a comment already from an member. Jeff Roberts is said, "Good morning to us. Hi, guys. Good morning."
Good morning,
Hello.
Jeff.
He's a brother of mine, close brother of mine, and his nickname is Chunk.
Chunk.
Chunk?
Okay.
Well, people here in California, he had an old nickname called Meatball, and it just had an Archie Bunkerish. So the people of California, my people on the streets, they should nickname him Chunk. So welcome,
What?
Chunk.
Wasn't that the nickname from like the Goonies or something? One of the kids was called Chunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just mean that. Oh, seriously. Okay, wait. Now,
Hey,
Wade is supposed to be here, but he's calling me. I can help, but it's too late. It's too late. The show started, Wade. I'm sorry, bro. You can't be here. It's really too bad because he wanted to do it. And so you could, I don't know what to tell him. He's having problems getting on. I have no, I can help him right now. I'm in the middle of the show, so I can help him. So let's start out. Why don't you guys first of all, actually, let me play a video that will explain what Dysarthria is, because this show is all about Dysarthria. Hold on.
Dysarthria is a neurological condition where the muscles used for speech are weak or become difficult to control due to injury or damage to the nerves that innervate these muscles. It should not be confused with the condition apraxia, which is difficulty in speech caused by anatomical issues such as a cleft palate. For example, the affected areas of the nervous system include the central and peripheral nervous systems and the cranial nerves, including trigeminus, facialis, glossopharyngeus, vagus, and hypoglossus. Complications of dysarthria include social isolation and depression in some affected individuals and may make relationships with friends and family difficult due to the communication problems they face. Causes of dysarthria include conditions that injure or damage the parts of the central nervous system involved with innervations of the muscles that control speech. These include strokes, brain injury, Parkinson's disease, myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis, Huntington's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, cerebral palsy, and Lyme disease. Dysarthrias can be classified in numerous ways depending on where the lesion causing the nerve damage affecting speech occurs. The different dysarthrias include spastic, bilateral damage to upper motor neurons, flaccid, bilateral or one-sided damage to lower motor neurons, ataxic, cerebellar damage, and unilateral upper motor neuron type, a milder presentation compared to the spastic type. In general, signs and symptoms of dysarthria include the following: slow and/or slurred speech, rapid speech that is difficult to understand, difficulty in moving the facial muscles or the tongue, inability to speak louder than a whisper or to speak loudly, abnormal speech rhythm, strained, raspy, or nasal sounding voice, monotonous speech, uneven speech volume. The diagnosis of dysarthria is based on the findings made on the medical history and clinical examination of the affected patient. Speech language therapists can be asked to give their opinion on a patient where they will help to confirm the diagnosis. The physician will then investigate further to determine the cause of the dysarthria and may request certain special investigations to do so.
Okay, I think it's enough, boys. Slurred speech, pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'd say it is.
That just getting a little lengthy.
It's all good.
It was very informative.
Well, let's start out introducing yourselves. Abraham, you're on the right side of me. Why don't you start introducing yourself?
I am Abraham Romani. It'll be 27 years this September that I've survived a stroke. It was a hemorrhagic stroke, but it was directly inside my brainstem. It was right by the midbrain pons area. I had dysarthria very bad. It was like more of a flaccid dysarthria. I didn't really enunciate. I just all my words just kind of rambled together, and through months and months of speech therapy and years of practice, I can kind of speak now. I wouldn't say it's grand, but
Well, I would say probably the best between me and Lewis. One of the best. A good feeling.
Well, I've got some years on you guys. I don't know.
True. Now, you said you had your stroke 25 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, 27 in September. Yeah, I was 17 years old.
So even though I'm the oldest of the group, because you're both young whippersnappers, but in all reality, Abraham is the oldest of the group.
Well, survivor.
The oldest survivor of the group.
Yeah.
So, Louis, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Louis Bartel. I had a brain aneurysm 10 years ago. My speech still is poopy, but it was way worse back in the day. It's getting a little better, but man.
Well, you know what's amazing? You guys, let's tell people out there, I was mute when I first had my stroke. And then I was like, Abraham, it was all my words just blended together and nobody could understand me. What were you like, Abraham, when you first had your stroke?
What was I like? I just mumbled and there's just like one long sound with a couple syllables in there, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it was very nice and understandable.
Yeah. And what about you, Louis? What was that?
I was the exact same way, but the whole whisper thing, I had to whisper.
Yeah.
But it was a whisper, but it was all what you guys are tired of, mumble jumble, all the words together, motion, but it was a whisper.
You know, I think we're to get right into the topic. But, for anybody out there watching the show, please leave a comment in the comment section if you enjoyed the show. Subscribe to Stroke TV YouTube channel. But Dysarthria is so isolating and so makes you recluse. It makes you. I've lost all my family and friends pretty much because I can't handle the way I speak, and it's just drives them up the wall. Makes them feel insecure. I don't know why, but they all left. My own family left. The only family I have left is my wife, my son, his fiance, and it's pretty much all I have left. The rest of them all went to the wayside. So, Abraham, have you experienced the same thing?
Yes, I have lost some friends due to a lot of different injury related incidences, but yes, I'm insecure myself about my voice, so I may have set some of my insecurities in front of that relationship, but yeah, I feel like the dysarthria definitely got in the way of the relationship. So yeah, I'm a little more recluse, and I tend to hang out by myself and stay home because I don't really feel I need to deal with people that want to question my ability to speak, or just question what I even have to say. Like, do I even have a right to speak? I mean,
My gosh. Not funny, really. Not funny. Louis, share your experience. What has been your experience?
To touch on what you guys said about people abandoning the ship is unfortunately a very common phenomenon. Happens all the time. I hear from people left or right. Everybody is alone. This is not unique to us. It happens a lot. It's super common. But that is super frustrating too.
it is.
I don't think having a stroke is bad enough.
Right?
But when you have dysarthria and you can't speak properly, it doesn't get any more frustrating. I pretty much have been isolated and alone by myself, so I understand.
Yep.
But Louis, you see your speech has gotten better. Tell me about how has that journey been for you?
It's been long and difficult and long and whatever. I haven't done speech therapy in a couple of years. I should probably go back to it. Well, I find what helps me is I read a book on my phone. I read it out loud. That really helps each and every morning. I read it for like 15 minutes out loud. Strong, control, and articulate on all that. It seems to be helping a bit.
Yeah.
But there's really nothing you can do. It just takes time and practice. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the truth?
I think you have to get kind of thick skin. I noticed that my dysarthria. I remember one time I was laying in a hospital in the intensive care, and my aunt Julie was coming down from San Jose probably an hour and a half to 2 hours away every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
she one day I was laying in my bed. She was by my bedside. I said, "Aunt Julie, I am stupid." Oh my God, she became unglued. She says, "Aaron, you ever say that again, I will never come see you."
Good.
Yeah.
Because you guys know that dysarthria makes you feel stupid. It does.
Yeah.
But you're not stupid. You may feel stupid. But,
Or
yeah.
like you're deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to touch on that because I think it's funnier now, Lewis.
I do too.
But I think the insecurity that it gives you inside as man, that insecurity of talking like this, it makes you insecure, it makes you overreactive and vulnerable. If someone says something and looks at you funny, oh man, not petty. Don't get me angry because my speech goes to shit, and then I shake and I was just not good. Like,
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I get a terrible case of the shakes if I get upset. Yeah.
Oh, Lewis, we have an audience member that has a question for you, Lewis. Jeff, I know if you're deaf.
I think that might be from yesterday. He heard
Yes, I am deaf.
Lewis, as we're touching on that, please tell the story of being accused of being deaf.
God, that was funny. So my old grocery store, I was shopped. There was a certain clerk. The very first time I saw this guy, he asked me a simple question and I gave him an answer. But my speech came on like this. The dude started, they think I was deaf, started talking to me like this. Like, okay, so I just played along with it. Okay, I'll take paper. Put it in a paper bag. I just only played the part. You call me deaf? Well, that's what you get.
Sure, I'll be deaf.
Okay, for everybody out there, that's kind of how we deal with this on the out. Okay, you want to think we're deaf? I took it for Lewis. I'll tell you what, Lewis, Abraham, the biggest thing for me is not take myself too serious with the speech deficit. Don't get offended. Laugh at yourself. I have come to a point, and this is probably, Lewis, is probably part of my journey. I come to a point where I can call myself, I sound like Elmer Fudd. It doesn't bother me. I laugh at myself. It doesn't offend me, nothing.
I think you have to laugh at yourself whatever your ability is. Even if you're perfectly normal, you're gonna do stuff. You gotta just let go and have fun with it.
Yeah.
You can't be expected to always be perfect and always be good. You're gonna fool up once in a while. Hey, just take it as it is. Enjoy your life and just laugh at your situation.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. It's like soul food. If you can humble yourself and kind of laugh it off, you're not getting frustrated and angry so much. You're too busy laughing.
And that's true.
Yeah, you agree. I agree, Abraham. I agree with Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see Rasky Rabbit really well. You know, I can say Rasky Rabbit just like Elmer Fudd.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
You know, you gotta get. I think stroke. Stroke is so cruel, but the only thing besides cooler than the Dysarthria is aphasia. And the only thing cooler of aphasia is locked-in syndrome. When somebody is locked in, they can't move it. I know she was a supermodel. Her name was, I don't know if you know, her name was Kelly Vanderhoeven. And she's guys, she is still, but when you're modeling this stunning supermodel, I mean, no makeup required, just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Then she had a stroke in her 20s. She had the world by the tail, guys. I'll send you some pictures. But she had the world by the tail in her 20s and had a stroke. Paralyzed her. She is 99% paralyzed and can only move her eyes. So she runs a computer right now with her eyes. So there's things worse than dysarthria.
No, there is, yeah.
That's one thing that got me through my whole situation. Tell myself, well, it could always be worse. Stop feeling bad for yourself. It could always be worse. And if you're the bad spot to someone else, it could always be worse. You fall down the line. It could always be worse. Or you're this way and that way. Well, at least you're not like this and that.
Yeah.
And if you're like this and that, well, at least I'm not like those people.
Yeah.
It can always be worse.
It can always
be
be
proud of yourself.
Definitely.
Are you grateful, Abraham? You find yourself grateful?
Yeah, I'm grateful every day. Sometimes I find myself being grateful I can do the dishes, that I can stand there and do the dishes. It's not a fun task, but I'm grateful I can use my hands enough to do that. I mean, it may take me a few minutes, but I'm grateful I can make myself a sandwich at lunchtime, I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful I could go outside and go for a walk. I mean, I know there's people that are stuck in a wheelchair and that's terrible. And I'm not one of them. I worked hard to not be, so I could go out for a walk because that's what I wanted, to be able to do that.
Yeah, but that's one thing kind of stroke. I'm sorry. One thing that stroke makes it do it. Like you said, I think during our show yesterday, Louis, it changes the way you view life. Yeah. It makes you look like Abraham just said, making the sandwich, doing dishes, go for a walk, the very basic rudimentary things that people take for granted, that all three of us, I'm sure, took for granted. At one point, we now are deeply grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally makes you appreciate the smaller things in life.
And
like doing the dishes? Who wants to do those?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The fact that you could do them is great.
Yeah.
See, learn to appreciate the small stuff.
That's
Who
what
really wants to do the dishes? But hey.
It's not fun, but yeah, I've learned to appreciate all the small arduous tasks like folding laundry. Folding laundry is not the best thing in the world, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm happy with the fact that I can kind of almost do it.
Good for you.
I mean,
really,
it's better than not being able to. I mean, I know there's people out there that can't use either of their hands, so.
That really is true. So we were talking about the isolation. Now we're kind of on to the gratefulness portion.
Yeah.
And it's really true. I mean, that I would say majority. There are many stroke survivors. Guys, I deal with thousands of stroke survivors around the world. There are many stroke survivors that have had their stroke. That's it. They give up. They're waiting to die. They're living in a dark, empty place. So
you can't do that.
And it's a decision.
It is. It's a decision. I remember it wasn't like a real clear decision, but I remember making a clear decision to myself whether or not this was going to be how I was going to be, because there was I believe it was like a week that I got out of ICU and before I went to the rehab hospital where I was just laying in bed and I couldn't speak. So I had a lot of time on my hands to think about what was going on, and I got to think about, that this was probably not the life I wanted, and this is not really what I expected out of life. So maybe I should bear down and make life happen.
Throughout my years of recovery, I'm not gonna lie, I've came real close to should I give up? Should I quit? Should I? Many times I've been wrestling with a question, and I'm so glad I never did. But it came darn close many times. It's a really tough battle. I can totally get it.
Well, recovery is a long, long road, and it's hard. And I understand that. I've seen those places where it would be easy to give up, and I'm grateful I didn't. And please don't ever.
Now you're doing dishes.
Yeah, now I can do the dishes. Now I can fold laundry. And
Yay!
Finally, right? My whole life.
I was suicidal in the beginning. My first time of stroke, I was ready to end my life.
Really?
Yeah, I was suicidal. I used to lay there in bed. I was half paralyzed, couldn't walk, still can't. But I used to lay there in bed, over and over in bed, contemplate how I was going to get my paralyzed carcass into the wheelchair, up ramp, into my closet where I kept my 40 Smith & Wesson and was going to blow my head off. And part of it, I met this guy named Jeffrey Hazelite. He's a global business celebrity on YouTube. I met him. And he began to tell me that with an attitude, you could do anything. And it changed my life. I began to realize, hey, not once did Jeffrey Hazelite say that doesn't apply to stroke survivors. He never said that. So I got the attitude of being a good, positive, good attitude, and I began to shape my future.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a choice.
Big time. Yeah, I remember just wanting I guess I didn't know it was such a long and hard road at the beginning. So I mean, I didn't have that forethought for it to be a daunting task or anything. I knew what I wanted to do. It was the beginning of my senior year, and I wanted to get my diploma. So I got myself up and I walked on stage. It wasn't easy. I guess I didn't realize the weight of the situation. Like I was only 17. I had no idea of traumatic brain injury or brain injury in general. I knew what epilepsy was, but that's about it. So I mean, I feel like it was good that I didn't know the depth of the situation.
Yeah, right.
It might have crushed me. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe I just made that choice and made that choice that I wanted to be positive about this. I wanted to try to take it in stride as a learning opportunity.
Do you agree, Lewis? Do you have a point where you realize I have to decide to have a positive attitude?
Yeah, that was the point. Should I give up or should I be still positive? I kept wrestling with it over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Positivity won.
Yeah, it always does.
Right?
Yeah. Guys, do you realize that we would not be here doing a show together had either one of us decided a different path?
That's very true.
I'm so grateful, Louis. And Abraham, you're here. Thank you for being
Thank
bros.
you. Well, I'm glad I could be here.
Well, you know, I really want to drive home for anybody out there that is struggling with their self love. You have to love yourself as a stroke survivor. No matter how bad you are, you must love yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Good, Louis.
You know, this helps. So I want to talk funny, but I kind of consider to be cool and unique. Who wants to be normal? Normal is whatever. I love being unique. I go out, yeah, sure, I want to talk funny. People serve me, but that's because I'm so damn cool.
Right. All
There you
right.
go.
That's an attitude for you, Grandma.
Yeah, I know, right? I need that attitude sometimes.
Yeah, you know, I think probably when you're I know we talked earlier in the show about how we lost I personally have lost some of my family and friends. And because they cannot relate to the way I speak, honestly, they just can't relate. They be around me like fingernails on chalkboard.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I think the thing that gets me angry the most is when somebody says to me, "Oh, I totally understand. I totally hear what you're saying." No, you don't. You- So I say, take what you think you know and multiply it by 50. Then we can talk.
yeah.
Otherwise, you tell them you don't know nothing. I
Right.
would much rather hear someone say, I can't imagine what you've been through, because you can't. But
Yeah.
for people to say, oh, I totally understand, I get it. No, you don't.
Yeah. You don't you like there's no way that nobody can like there's no way that a non-survivor could really even begin to grasp the situation.
No.
It's a difficult thing, I think.
Yeah, that's the reason I built Stroke TV Media is to join all stroke survivors around the world because nobody can understand what's like but another survivor. How do you? They can't relate.
No.
They can't relate. But hey, guys, believe it or not, we're out of time already. So I want to encourage everybody to write down Lewis and Abraham's and my names. Go onto Facebook, send us a friend request. Go to stroketvmedia.com. There's a place you can talk to me. But I wanted to thank both of you for being on the show. I deeply appreciate it. And I want to do another one someday with you both. Thank
A
you.
part two. Yeah,
Cool.
we should. We
Can
should.
I
That would,
throw in a quick plug?
Well, of course.
I've got a Facebook page, Be the Miracle, where I kind of showcase all my accomplishments. You can find me out there. It's at Grateful Miracle.
It is called Be the Miracle, Lewis.
Yep. It's at Grateful Miracle on
Okay,
Facebook.
so Lewis has a Facebook page called Be the Miracle. Look it up, like it. I ask again please subscribe to Stroke TV Media on YouTube. Really important. It really helps us get awareness out there. So just reach out, go to stroketvmedia.com, check us out. And Abraham, do you have anything you would like to say in closing?
Keep a positive attitude and have a great week. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Well, that's great. So we'll leave with that. So we'll have a positive attitude and a great week.
Love y'all.
Yeah, bye.
Fire.
Yeah.